GM, good morning, good Monday, and yes, I know exactly what you're thinking.
Who the hell is this guy?
So, Robin's out buying a Lamborghini after coming into possession of an unusually large bag of Solana, and, well, he asked me to fill in. Anyway, it's been a typically dicey week in DeFi, and particularly traumatic for anyone suffering from gephyrophobia, the pathological fear of bridges. I am, of course, referring to the Nomad hack that saw around $100 million worth of ERC20s filched in just a few hours by a frenzied mob of REKT crypto investors. Just check out this real footage of a Nomad user upon hearing their funds were suspended in the compromised smart contract.
What the?
Yep, scary stuff. But before we dive into all that and more, a quick word from our sponsors.
There are a few platforms that put security first while helping you make the most out of your crypto. On Nexo, you can buy crypto with a card in seconds and automatically start earning interest paid out daily. If you want to restructure your portfolio when the time comes, jump on Nexo's instant exchange and get rewards on every swap. Borrowing against your crypto without selling is easy with rates starting at 0%. Nexo is the place for your crypto where you can securely buy, earn, exchange, borrow, and store your assets through the market cycles. Visit nexo.io and play the long game right.
Let's face it, bridge hacks have become par for the course at this point, so much so that one can't help but refer back to Nostradamus Buterin's prophetic Reddit post back in January concerning the pitfalls of a cross-chain future. As Vitalik put it,
my argument for why the future will be multi-chain, but it will not be cross-chain, there are fundamental limits into the security of bridges that hop across multiple zones of sovereignty.
Well, in the 8 months since, we've had no less than 8 high-profile bridge hacks to the combined tune of $1.3 billion in stolen funds. But not all bridge exploits are created equal. And this latest edition was unique for being, as Sam CZ Sun described it, the first decentralized hack in DeFi history. And that's because in the simplest terms, some clever sausage found a flaw in a recent update that effectively auto-proved every message, and word soon spread. As Sam describes, this is why the hack was so chaotic. You didn't need to know about Solidity or Merkle trees or anything like that. All you had to do was find a transaction that worked, find and replace the person's address with yours, and then rebroadcast it. Yep, just by copy-pasting a slice of code, even an idiot like me could have easily participated, and maybe even did, in what ultimately turned out to be DeFi's answer to supermarket sweep.
Here, Mother's cookies, where are they?
Anyway, for a more technical analysis of all this on-chain skullduggery, check out QuantStamp's postmortem by clicking the link in the video description below. But hey, this is the wild, wild, wild west, and we're so numb to this kind of thing that one measly bridge hack was never going to satisfy our insatiable need for drama. Luckily, or unluckily, it was Solana's turn to endure another deluge of shit PR after almost 10,000 wallets were drained of a combined total of around $4 million. Compared to the wormhole hack back in February, this wasn't exactly the heist of the century. And at least Solana holders can take comfort from the fact that this wasn't a blockchain issue. There was no fundamental cryptographic flaw or any issue with the blockchain itself. No, this was a good old-fashioned cock-up. Turns out the gigabrains at Slope had inadvertently stored users' private keys in plain text on a centralized server. Hackers found a way in through the cat flap, stole the mnemonics, and just like that, unfettered access to Aladdin's cave. So, what are the major takeaways here? Well, first things first, listen to Anatoly Yakovenko and get yourself a hardware wallet, goddammit. And if you really want to impress your mates, get a Solana phone. Above all, the fact remains that sound cross-chain interoperability remains the goal, but we're just nowhere near there yet. So as always, bridge at your own risk. Unfortunately though, this is just more bad press for crypto at large, and yet another reason for concerned relatives to reach out and ask if you're still sure about this Bitcoin thing. Either way, it will be interesting to see whether layer zeros like Polkadot or Cosmos, or layer 0 and its Stargate protocol will play a role in building a viable cross-chain future. But for now, it's fair to say Vitalik was right.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Finally, because this is supposed to be a quick take, some fascinating developments in the NFT space, as the Proof Collective's Kevin Rose announces his Moonbirds collection will be transferring to a CCO licensing model, saying this move honors and respects the values of the internet and Web3. Now, this opens up the huge topic of copyright and intellectual property in the NFT space and beyond, because transferring to a CCO model means that the Moonbirds, well, they now belong to the Creative Commons, allowing anyone to use Moonbirds or Moonbird-inspired artwork in whatever way they please. They could add it to a commercial product, open a Moonbird-inspired nail salon, custom toilet paper, you name it. This is just one example of a directional shift in how NFT collections are approaching licensing. The original Punk holders couldn't use them for anything other than profile pictures. Yuga Labs then gave Bored Ape holders the right to commercialize their particular NFT, which is why we've seen ventures like Bored and Hungry, a BAYC burger joint, pop up in LA with a respectable 3.5-star rating on Yelp. Nouns has a CCO license. Goblin Town launched CCO from day one, followed by a slew of imitators hoping to jump on the hype train. However, Kevin's seemingly unilateral decision to do this retroactively, it's ruffled a few Moonbird feathers. Head over to their website and you'll see this. Owners of Moonbirds have full commercial art rights for the Moonbirds they own. Well, at least they did, briefly. Which is why folks like King Blackboard over here are less than thrilled with the post hoc announcement. Today, Kevin Rose announced that they are rescinding my commercial rights to the Moonbird art I own, and now they've decreed it to CCO. Is this even legal to do post-sale? Because this surely isn't ethical and I feel bait and switch hard right now. Yeah, you can make the argument that buying an NFT with the expectation of certain proprietary rights only to have them taken away after the fact, well, it's a bit like finding out you're in an open relationship that you never really consented to.
You told me you wanted an open relationship on our fucking wedding night.
But what remains to be seen in this new and emergent space is whether CCO licensing will allow the community to proliferate organically and therefore add value to the underlying asset. Will this turn out to be a bold move that pays dividends for Moonbird holders, the Proof Collective, both, or neither? I genuinely have no idea. What we do know is that bridges can be easily compromised in this space, and Kevin's decision to go CCO with, well, zero warning may have burned a few within his own community. That said, it's way too soon to determine whether this will prove to be a dick move or a boss move. Anyway, what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe. Most importantly, have a great week ahead.